Ladies and gentlemen, the gauntlet has officially been thrown down by tough guy Joe Biden, who has finally accepted not one, but two of Donald Trump's multiple challenges to debate. And let's be honest here, it's probably not Biden, but actually his handlers who finally gave him permission because Joe doesn't have an independent bone in his body. But the Biden regime has released a dramatic video where they pathetically attempt to portray Biden as anything other than a weak and mentally deteriorating old man who has no business near the reins of power.
Donald Trump lost two debates to me in 2020. And since then, he hadn't shown up for debate. Now he's acting like he wants to debate me again. Well, make my day, pal. I'll even do it twice. So let's pick the dates, Donald. I hear you're free on Wednesdays.
Whoa. You'll even do it twice, guys. Wow, that's pretty impressive. But before you laugh at this feeble attempt to look tough, I want to point out something first, and it's actually a lot worse than you think. You see, this video is actually 13 seconds long, and you would think that our brave, strong, fearless leader, Joe Biden, would be able to at least remember his lines for this insanely short amount of time. But no, there are a total of 5 cuts throughout this 13-second long video. Watch this.
Donald Trump lost two debates to me in 2020. And since then, he hadn't shown up for debate. Now he's acting like he wants to debate me again. Well, make my day, pal. I'll even do it twice. So let's pick the dates, Donald. I hear you're free on Wednesdays.
Now, I am no stranger to cuts, and I use them as well. But I am pretty sure I can make it 13 seconds without making 5 cuts. But after Joe Biden posted this video, Donald Trump, of course, quickly responded like a king on his own social media platform, True Social, not on Twitter like a pauper Joe Biden. And he said, "Crooked Joe Biden is the worst debater I have ever faced. He can't put 2 sentences together. Crooked is also the worst president in history." I mean, facts. In history of the United States, by far. It's time for a debate so that he can explain to the American people his highly destructive open border policy. True. New and ridiculous EV mandates, the allowance of crushing inflation, high taxes, and his really weak foreign policy, which is allowing the world to catch on fire. I am ready and willing to debate Crooked Joe at the 2 proposed times in June and September. I would strongly recommend more than 2 debates, and for excitement purposes, a very large venue. Although Biden is supposedly afraid of crowds, that's only because he doesn't get them. Just tell me when. I'll be there. Let's get ready to rumble. Now, Donald Trump's proposal to do it in a large venue might be a problem because Joe Biden's handlers are coming out and they're saying, well, if Donald Trump wants to debate, I mean, he'll do it. He'll do it on our terms, right? And our terms, ironically, require no crowds in a studio setting. And why do you think this is? Why does the leader of our country, Joe Biden, why does he need a studio setting? Why can't he do a debate in front of crowds? You got to ask yourself that question. Why do they want to hide Joe Biden away, do it in a controlled environment where they have as much control over what happens as possible? Because in front of a bunch of crowds, the pressure is increased. The pressure is highly increased. And Joe Biden, his heart may not be able to handle that pressure. And also in a studio setting, they can curate for the viewers a lot more, just like what you saw in the video when Joe Biden very aggressively agreed to a debate with Donald Trump. 5 cuts in 13 seconds. And if they have to do 5 cuts in 13 seconds, imagine an hour and a half long debate where Joe Biden has to speak freely and respond to Donald Trump with them having no control over what happens other than Biden up there on stage with the spotlight on him and Donald Trump. I mean, it would just be a disaster. But this was CNN, where the communications director for Joe Biden demands that the debate be in studio with no audience, of course. Listen to this.
It should be, yes, in studio with no audience so that the candidates can clearly articulate their vision for the country.
Is an audience a deal breaker? Is an audience a deal breaker for you?
Listen, it's Donald Trump who said he would do this anytime, anywhere, any place. So I don't think that they should have any problems with what we have proposed. He's the one who said he's ready to go. So we should be set to go once we have proposals in from networks.
Man, this is just absolutely pathetic. The Biden administration, I mean, I can't think of a more pathetic administration. I agree with Donald Trump 100%. Joe Biden is the worst president in history. And I've said many times, it's kind of sad because we have to direct all our vitriol at Joe Biden. But at the end of the day, Joe Biden is just an old man. Of course, we have to direct that vitriol at something. And Joe Biden is a figurehead. But really, it's the Biden administration, this amalgamation of institutions and forces that have come together. And Biden is just filling in a spot. And they get to pull the levers. Everyone knows that. Everyone could clearly see this, and they tried to gaslight us on mainstream media about what is actually happening right in front of our very eyes. Okay. I got a little off track there, but let's go back to this debate and just kind of see a little more context. What is happening with this debate? What are the terms? When is this debate, or when are these debates? But CNN, of course, has all of the details on this, and they say Biden and Trump accept CNN's invite to debate on June 27th. Oh, wow. And there is a video on CNN, of course. Joe Biden being a big, tough guy. But President Joe Biden and former President Donald Trump have both accepted an invitation from CNN to debate on June the 27th, a historically early showdown that will set the tone for the final months of the 2024 campaign. And, of course, the quote by Joe Biden on X, not on his own social media platform that he created. But Trump later told CNN's Caitlin Collins, the answer is yes, I will accept. The news is the latest development in a quickly escalating tit for tat over debates between the two political rivals. Biden's campaign earlier called on Trump to join him for two presidential debates hosted by news organizations, and formally informed the Commission on Presidential Debates that the president will not participate in his previously scheduled fall debates. The former president quickly said he was on board with earlier debates and told radio host Hugh Hewitt that he would accept any moderator. I love it that they're trying to skew it to make it seem that Joe Biden is the one that was really going after Trump to debate. They've got to make everybody think that. But Donald Trump has been campaigning for months and months and months, and he's been calling out Joe Biden for many, many, many months, a huge amount of months to debate. And he's been greeted with crickets from the Biden administration, so much so that he brings a podium, an empty podium, to all of his rallies, and he places it right next to his podium. And it says, anytime, anywhere, any place. So, it's definitely been Donald Trump who has been taunting Biden, even after the show trial in New York, this hush money trial. 9 hours in trial, and he comes out and he calls out Biden. He says, hey, why do you got to send your DOJ after me? Why do you got to do that? How about you just debate me? How about you just convince people that you're a better president? Why? Because you can't. But Biden only recently said that he was happy to debate Trump, though he was non-committal on the format of such a debate, telling radio host Howard Stern, I'm happy to debate him. And in a social media video and a subsequent letter to the Commission on Presidential Debates, Biden's campaign laid out its proposed terms, including possible debate dates in June and September. The video of Biden speaking directly to a camera released Wednesday was a more direct challenge, of course, the quote. And in a post on Truth Social, okay, let's get down, because we've already heard all of this stuff, but let's get down. Let's see if there's a description of what this debate entails. Moderators for the debate and additional details will come out at a later time, the announcement said. The format is in line with a proposal from Biden campaign to the commission in its letter, which Trump pushed back on his Truth Social post, saying he would prefer, for excitement purposes, a very large venue, although Biden is supposedly afraid of crowds. Oh, man. Just tell me when I'll be there. Let's get ready to rumble. The Commission on Presidential Debates announced dates for 3 presidential debates last November. The first debate was scheduled for September 16th. The Biden campaign chair, Jen O'Malley, said the campaign is proposing an altered schedule because the original dates are out of step with changes in the structure of our elections and the interests of voters. That's code word for because our candidate is, he's got one foot in the grave, and we really got to work under really strict constraints here. So we can't just go be on a schedule because there are a lot of things that could just happen out of nowhere. Biden could wake up and he could be feeling really sick that day. And then they make the justification pointing to the timeline of early voting, the way the commission has built debates as an entertainment spectacle, and the commission being unable or unwilling to enforce rules in 2020 debates. So, they're using any justification that they can use and trying to focus away from the obvious, what is actually going on, because Biden is a feeble old man. And he might embarrass him in front of the entire country and the world, actually. The campaign also proposed that a vice presidential debate take place in late July after the Republican Party nominates its candidate for that position. Could you imagine? Okay, guys, think about this. Could you imagine if Vivek Ramaswamy becomes VP for Donald Trump and he debates Kamala Harris? Man, I would pay serious money to see that. That would be the greatest thing I think I may have ever seen. Trump, please make Vivek VP just so we can see this, because this would be just the best thing in the entire world. Okay, the more I'm thinking about this, the more excited I am getting about this. I would be more excited to see Vivek versus Kamala Harris than Trump versus Biden. I'm sorry. Vivek would tear her to absolute shreds. But the Biden campaign's decision to withdraw from the debates hosted by the commission is in line with a move made by Republicans. Okay, this is all whatever. There's all like fluff right here. But what do you guys think? What do you think of Joe Biden and Trump debating? What do you think is going to happen? I mean, they have dates, they have times, they have a venue. Do you think this is actually going to happen, or are they just kind of like, posturing here? What do you think is going to happen? I mean, of course, it's probably not going to be an audience. They're going to take as little pressure off of Joe Biden as possible, because it is pretty risky. I think even for a studio setting, it's kind of risky. I mean, I guess it would be filmed live, and they would have, some of their guys in control of the cameras. And when Joe Biden, coughs a million times, or he freezes up, or whatever, has a stroke, I don't know. They're going to pan those cameras so far away from where Joe Biden is. It's going to be insane. But let me know what you guys think of this down below in the comments. Like and subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate it. But until then, I'll see you on the next one.